Hey guys, and welcome to this week's installment of Tuesdays with Lauri. My name is Lauri Laukkanen and I'm one of the editors at SLR Lounge. You can also find me on Facebook at Lauri Laukkanen Photography. Today we're going to be taking a look at my latest photograph titled Urban Indian, which I shot a few days ago. We're going to take a quick look at how the scene was lit. I'll show you guys a behind the scenes image of the location that we were shooting at. And then finally we're going to take a look at the Photoshop file and I'll show you guys layer by layer what I did in order to achieve the final look. So with that said, let's get started. So here you guys can see the final image titled Urban Indian. As you can see, we're in an urban location. We have the concrete walls, the graffiti on the walls, and then we have this Indian in this coming out of this dark tunnel or whatever it is. So that's the final image. Let's talk about the location first a bit. So this here is how the location really looked like. This is a bridge and we had cars driving above us pretty much the whole time we were shooting. And what we did was we climbed up this steep hill, or actually we didn't even climb up this hill because it was too icy and we just kept sliding down. What we actually did was we created our own stairs in this snow here, and that way got up and then tried to carefully stay in balance here by holding from the walls. And then as you can see, I have a light stand here, just sticked it in the snow. That was the only option really. And then a flash through a medium-sized softbox, and that's the main light source that I had. This is not how I had it set up during the actual photo shoot. This was just now I sticked it there because I found that it stayed there pretty safely. So, but anyway, in the final setup, what I did, I had this stand sticking out from this snow in this sort of an angle, shooting downwards in a 45-degree angle. That way I got the Rembrandt lighting on our model's face. But anyway, so this is the location. Let's go to Photoshop and I'll talk a bit more about the lighting. Yeah, so as you guys can kind of guess from this, so I had this light stand coming up in an angle like this, shooting downwards about in a 45-degree angle, and that gives me the triangle here, which is what Rembrandt lighting is all about. So that's how I lit the image, and that's the only light source we had. I shot this photograph with my new 24 to 70mm f2.8 Mark II lens because I needed to get close but still get a wide landscape photograph. So the lens worked out really well for this. But that's pretty much it about the lighting and the location. So I'll show you guys the image straight out of the camera, and then we're gonna go through the edits that I did. So here, if we turn this group off, here is the image straight out of the camera. I just rotated it a bit as I felt it needed. I wanted to play around with this horizontal line here a bit to kind of create an interesting composition. But anyway, this is the image straight out of the camera, and as you can see, I don't have any information here. I lost some information here as well when I rotated, so that's what I had to kind of fill out. I also, if we turn this back on, you guys can see, if you look here in the corner, I cleaned up that snow as it was kind of disturbing, so I took it away, and then I just used the clone stamp tool to fill in these two areas. But yeah, let's take a more in-depth look now. So let's turn these layers all off and then go through them one by one. Yeah, so first what I have here is this clone stamped area here down here. So I just clone stamped. I wasn't really that precise when doing this because I knew I would be applying a very dark vignette on the lower part, as I wanted all the focus to be in our model's face. So just made sure it looked pretty much okay, but didn't really care how it looked. So as you guys can see, that's what I did there. Then this layer is actually just a copy of the same layer, I think, so that's pretty much unneeded. Then, as I said, I cleaned up the snow on the left side here, So let's see, as you guys can see, I just cleaned up the snow. Again, just used the clone stamp tool. And then I noticed our model, her shoe, this whatever, I don't really even know what's the name of this one. But anyway, it was quite disturbing. I wanted it to be like this, so what I did, I just copied this one, brought it here, and rotated a bit and scaled it down to make it look slightly different. But anyway, so that's what I did down there. Again, I wasn't that careful when doing the stuff here down in the lower area, as I knew again that I would be applying the very dark vignette, which meant that people wouldn't be really focusing in this anyway. So, but yeah, that's that. And then I have my vignette, which I talked about. Pretty much just made the sides and the lower part here darker, so that the viewer would concentrate more on the face and this area here. Then we have my first curves adjustment layer, and here again I did what I usually do. Let's go and look. I added some blue into the shadows and yellow into the highlights, and then added a little bit of green into the midtones. And if you look at the red channel, I just added a little bit of red everywhere, but not in the shadows. The shadows stayed the same, but the midtones and the highlights, I just added a little bit of red there. But so that's the first color grading curves layer that I have here. Then I did I sharpened up the image using the high pass filter on the blending mode soft light, and then sharpened up, actually sharpened up the face a bit as well here on the other one. Then what I had here was I smoothened out the skin a bit, and as well as the hat, as I felt it was slightly even too sharp for my taste, so I smoothened it out anyway a bit. Then I have my dodge and burn layers here. So let's turn on the group on and off so you guys can see. So what I did here, I just exaggerated the triangle under here, brought some light into the eyes, and then did some basic dodging and burning on the walls as well. So let's turn it back on. So as you guys can see, I get some more light on the face, and then take away some of the brightness in the shadowy areas. That way, just accentuating the areas that I want the viewer to look at, and bring down the areas that I don't want the viewer to look at. So basic dodging and burning. Then here, this is a quick fix. Here I felt this area here, this very small area here, was kind of too bright. So what I did, I just darkened it up a bit. As you guys can see, when I turn this layer on and off, it just darkens that small bright spot there. So that's what this layer did. And then I have a layer which is slightly desaturated, and why I did this was I felt that the areas on the sides, the vignette, was kind of too blue, but I kind of liked the saturation here in the middle. So what I did, I desaturated the whole layer, and then applied a layer mask so that it's only visible in the edges here. And that way I slightly desaturated the vignette to a more of a desaturated blue tone anyway. And then I have a hue and saturation adjustment layer here, which really doesn't do much. Let's take a look. I decided anyway to desaturate the whole image a little bit, -7. So it's not a huge effect, but just a little desaturation. Mainly, I think the orange areas here were slightly too saturated for my taste, so I desaturated them a bit. And then finally, I have here my last curves adjustment layers, which I used to brighten up and bring in some detail from the shirt here, which I felt I had slightly lost maybe. and also brighten up these areas here just a tad. So now I turn it on and off, you guys can see. So a very subtle effect just to bring in some detail that I had lost in the beginning during the dodging and burning. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So as you guys can see, nothing super special. Let's just close up this group and look at the image before and after once more. So just to recap, I clone stamped in some information here, clone stamped some information here in this corner, took away this snow, and then did some basic dodging and burning, added a vignette, and then color graded with the curves adjustment layer. That's pretty much it, and that's how I got this photograph here.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you have any questions or requests for future episodes, please leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to help you all out. Also, I'm traveling to London tomorrow and we'll be spending there 5 days, and I'm trying to organize a fashion/conceptual photo shoot during my stay there. So if you live in London and would like to help me out, you know a model, you know a makeup artist, or would just like to come and help me out, assist, please leave a comment down below, email me at lauri@slrlounge.com, or even message me on Facebook, and let's see what we can create together. Thanks guys, see you next Tuesday, bye!